Okay, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are tackling a problem that literally every single one of us has faced. Picture this. You're in a high-stakes meeting, or, maybe a first date. You're right in the middle of making this absolutely fantastic point. Your audience is completely hooked, and then, bam, your brain just goes totally blank. The perfect word vanishes into thin air. Well, today, we're breaking down a really cool framework from our source material called the opposite offset to handle that exact nightmare scenario with total grace. I mean, seriously, how many times have you been speaking and suddenly forgot a word you knew just 5 minutes ago? Let's dive right into this visceral, panic-inducing problem that puts all of us in exactly the same shoes. Your heart rate spikes, right? You might start stuttering a bit or throwing in a bunch of ums and ahs while you furiously search those mental filing cabinets of your mind. It is so frustrating. You know the word, you know exactly what it means, but it's just temporarily, completely out of reach. All right, moving on to section 1, the brain's normal dance. Now, when this happens, it feels like an absolute catastrophe. Gaps in vocabulary can completely destroy your confidence in the moment, making you feel foolish in front of your peers or your audience. But, and this is the absolutely crucial takeaway from our source material, this is actually a perfectly normal part of having a human brain. It's not a sign of lacking intelligence, and it is definitely not a sign of a shrinking vocabulary. Your brain is just doing this highly complex internal dance, managing thoughts, breathing, and translating concepts into sounds all at once, and, well, occasionally it just drops the baton. Literally everyone's brain does this. So since we know this is just a biological norm and not a failure on your part, we really shouldn't waste our precious mental energy panicking. Instead, we can use what the source material calls jump around strategies, which are techniques used to mentally navigate past a temporarily forgotten word. Think of it like hitting a massive roadblock on your daily commute. You don't just sit in your car forever staring at the barrier, right? No, you take a detour, you jump around it, you find another route to the exact same destination without missing a beat. And we can train ourselves to do the exact same thing with our language when a word gets blocked. Which brings us nicely to section 2, the opposite offset framework. This crisp step-by-step strategy is basically an immediate biological hack to keep you speaking fluently. Let's break down the mechanics. Step 1, think of the word you forgot. I know, that sounds weird, but in the background, your brain actually still recognizes the concept of the word, even if the actual letters are hiding. Step 2, immediately find its common opposite. Our brains are incredibly fast at associating opposites. They're linked so closely in our neural pathways that they're super easy to retrieve. And finally, step 3, simply add the word not in front of that opposite word. It sounds deceptively simple, but the mechanics here are brilliant. It completely bypasses the mental block while conveying the exact same conceptual meaning to whoever is listening. Let's actually put this into practice and go back to that high-stakes scenario. Say you're telling a story, and you want to say the restaurant was really expensive, but the word expensive just vanishes. Following the framework, you quickly pivot to its common opposite, cheap. Then you simply add not. So you fluidly say the restaurant was not cheap. Boom. You effortlessly communicate your point. The listener gets the exact same impression, your conversational flow remains completely unbroken, and you haven't lost a single ounce of confidence. It's totally invisible to the person you're speaking to. Just a really brilliant, seamless jump around. All right, section 3. Let's practice jumping around. Now, the source text challenges us to really build this mental muscle memory, because you can't just know the theory here. You have to train your brain to execute this opposite offset on demand in a fraction of a second. If you forgot a complex word, how quickly could you find its basic opposite and add not? Let's try one together right now. Imagine you're trying to describe a desert, and you completely forget the word dry. Well, what's the opposite? Wet. So you simply say, it was not wet. By actively practicing this technique with common words, you fundamentally rewire how you react to a brain freeze. Take a quick second to mentally scan this practice list of 10 target words and run the opposite offset framework on a few of them in your head right now. Find the opposite, add not. To finish up this explainer, I want to turn it entirely over to you. How would you jump around this list of 10 words using the not framework? We really want you to put this into practice today. Share your best opposite offset translations in the comments below. Because ultimately, the next time your brain drops the baton mid-sentence, you have a choice to make. Are you going to freeze up in awkward silence, or are you going to seamlessly jump around it? Think about that, master the offset, and we'll see you in the next explainer.